Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and uncover the real mystery behind why we constantly feel literally glued to our screens. I mean, if you've ever picked up your phone to just check one single message and suddenly realized a whole hour has completely vanished, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're unpacking a topic that impacts pretty much every single one of us. We're looking at the invisible architecture of the digital world. Specifically, we're going to break down 3 user experience, or UX, dark patterns. These are basically highly sophisticated mechanisms operating quietly in the background of your favorite platforms, and they are, in a very real sense, controlling your brain right now. We'll explore how these interfaces are designed not for your benefit, but to capture and relentlessly hold your attention. So, if you're dealing with scroll fatigue and kind of questioning your own focus lately, I want to ask you this very simple yet incredibly frustrating question: why can't you stop scrolling? Seriously, think about it. You're tired, your eyes are burning, you absolutely know you have other things to do, yet your thumb just keeps going. Swipe up, swipe up, swipe up. It feels almost involuntary, doesn't it? We usually just brush this off as a bad habit, right? A personal feeling. We tell ourselves we just need better time management. But to get the real answer, we have to look past our own habits and look directly at the screens we're holding. And that brings us to this stark, kind of uncomfortable reality. Modern apps use behavioral psychology and deceptive design to trap your attention. Yeah, it's a heavy statement, but it's the absolute foundational truth of today's tech ecosystem. The platforms you use every single day, the ones you rely on for news, connecting with friends, or just killing time, they aren't actually built to optimize your day. They're meticulously crafted environments. The designers behind them are using decades of behavioral psychology research to essentially hack your attention span. Their main metric for success: how long they can keep you in the app. You aren't just using an app, you are navigating a psychological trap. Okay, let's move to our first specific tactic. Number 1, the variable reward loop, or the slot machine in your pocket. This one is absolutely crucial to understand because it's the core engine of user manipulation. It targets the very core of how our brains process motivation. A variable reward loop is a psychological mechanism where a user performs an action and receives an unpredictable reward. The keyword there? Unpredictable. See, if you got the exact same reward every single time you checked your phone, your brain would get bored super fast. But when the reward is variable, meaning you never quite know what you're going to get, your brain pumps out dopamine in anticipation. Will it be a hilarious video, a stressful news alert, a DM, or just a random ad? That unpredictability is exactly what keeps you hooked. Let's break down exactly how this plays out. Imagine a stickman physically pulling down a slot machine lever. That is the exact physical and mental mechanic of the pull to refresh feature. Step 1, you take a physical action. You pull down on the screen. Step 2, the anticipation. You see that little spinning wheel at the top? For that tiny fraction of a second, your brain is engaged in high-stakes anticipation. And finally, step 3, the reward. New content pops up. Maybe it's a jackpot, maybe it's a total bust. But the mechanic works flawlessly. You've just played the slot machine, and the app knows for a fact you'll probably pull that lever again in a few minutes. Moving on, we are unmasking our second villain of interface design. Number 2, the Roach Motel. Easy in, hard out. So while the reward loop targets your moment-to-moment attention, the Roach Motel targets your long-term commitments and, yeah, usually your wallet. It's a masterclass in using user interface design to create intentional, exhausting friction. By definition, a Roach Motel is a UI design pattern that makes it exceptionally easy to enter a situation, but deliberately difficult to exit. You've almost certainly experienced this. You sign up for a new streaming service. The door's wide open, right? But the second you decide you want to leave, the whole architecture of the app morphs. Exits disappear, menus become a literal maze. Listen, this isn't poor design. It is incredibly effective, deliberate design, meant to wear you down until you just give up and stay subscribed. This brilliantly illustrates the visceral contrast between your innocent intentions and the predatory friction they use against you. Look at the difference here. Signing up, one seamless click, boom, you're in. But canceling? Oh, that's a whole different story. Suddenly you're navigating hidden menus, dodging warning emails, and sometimes you literally have to make a physical phone call during business hours to talk to a retention specialist. They are completely weaponizing inconvenience against you, banking on the fact that the effort it takes to leave will eventually outweigh your genuine desire to cancel. All right, let's look at a tactic that targets your emotions rather than your patience. Number 3, the guilt trip or confirmshaming. If the Roach Motel uses logistical friction, Confirmshaming uses emotional friction. It's this deeply manipulative way interfaces try to steer your behavior by literally making you feel bad about your choices. Confirm shaming is a guilt-based UI design that phrases the opt-out option to shame the user into complying. Instead of just giving you a simple neutral no, the app forces a guilt-based interaction. Think about those pop-ups asking for your email for a discount code. A normal, respectful interface would offer a yes, please, and a no, thank you. But a dark pattern removes the respectful decline and replaces it with a statement designed to make you pause, feel a twinge of guilt, or just feel kind of ridiculous for opting out. I mean, can you believe the lengths they go to? It is ironically manipulative to force you to click a humiliating statement just to decline a pop-up. Imagine having to click, "No thanks, I hate saving money," just to close a window. Or, "No thanks, I prefer paying full price." It forces you to verbally or digitally agree with a negative statement about yourself. It creates this tiny, micro moment of cognitive dissonance. It feels bad to click it, and for a certain percentage of users, that manufactured guilt is just enough to make them cave and hit subscribe instead, which is exactly the point. Let's zoom out from the specific apps for a second. Number 4, engineered not your fault, the paradigm shift. Seeing these mechanics laid bare really requires a fundamental shift in how we view our own behavior. When you fall for the slot machine refresh or get stuck in a roach motel, it is so easy to feel like it's a personal failure. You look at your screen time and think, man, is my willpower broken? We carry around so much digital guilt, assuming if we were just stronger, we wouldn't fall into these traps. But asking if your willpower is broken, that is totally the wrong question. I really want to shift the blame away from you here. Your lack of focus is actually the result of highly intentional psychological engineering. You are not lacking willpower. This is engineered. You're going up against multi-billion-dollar industries that literally employ armies of psychologists, data scientists, and UI designers. Their sole job is to bypass your rational decision-making and trigger compulsive behaviors. It is a completely asymmetric battle. Realizing that these dark patterns are deliberate strategies for manipulation, that's the first and most important step toward getting your focus back. Now that you can see behind the curtain, you can actually fight back. You can spot the roach motel before you enter it, and you can just laugh off those ridiculous confirm-shaming pop-ups. Reclaiming your digital autonomy starts right here. So make sure to subscribe to this explainer for more ways to understand and master the technology around you. I'm going to leave you with this one provocative thought. The next time you pick up your phone, ask yourself, are you using the app, or is the app using you?